So, y'all are probably wondering. I guess, rejoice everyone, we're back. Gosh, I forgot. It's been a hot minute. Y'all are probably wondering why we're not doing this particular character with his brother.
I swear to fucking God, Knick-Knack.
Well, let me just say, it's not for any good reason. We're just taking it easy. Fuck off.
Anyways, so we are returning once again to the Sengoku Jidai, the period of the Warring States, and we are met with the Devil. Sorry, that's actually a nickname he had, because apparently he was an absolute, like, beast on the field, right? Like, this man was ruthless, and he had a terrible temper, right? So he served as a retainer in the service of Oda Nobunaga, following in his father's footsteps, Mori Yoshinari, who had originally been a retainer for the Saito clan, and then at some point, for some reason that I have no historical writings of, in 1555, defected and became a retainer of the Oda clan, and would serve Oda Nobunaga between 1555 and 1570, where he died at the Battle of Anagawa against the Asakura clan. So Nagayoshi did fight in several major battles alongside Oda Nobunaga and against Oda Nobuyuki, including the Battle of Ino, the siege of Inabayama Castle, and the attack of Iwanari Tomomichi at Shoryuji Castle. And notably, he would father 6 children that we know of, including Mori Yoshitaka, Mori Nagayoshi, Mori Ranmaru, Mori Bomaru, Mori Rikumaru, and Mori Tadamasa. 3 of those names we're going to care about. 3 of them were really not. Nagayoshi was given the nickname Devil because of his particularly ruthless manner in battle. After the death of his father, while he was under the service of the Oda clan, he was gifted with Kaneyama Castle, serving primarily under Nobutada, Nobunaga's eldest son. In 1577, he attacked Matsunaga Daio Hisehide during the siege of Shigisan, and would eventually occupy Takeda Castle, as well as taking Takato and Kazu castles in 1582. For these actions, he was given a reward of 100,000 koku, but regrettably, at this point in his so far successful military campaign on behalf of Oda Nobunaga, he was stopped when both Nobunaga and Nobutada died during the Honnoji incident. See our Oda Nobunaga video for further information about the Honnoji incident. I will not be going over it again. 3 of his younger brothers, Ranmaru, Bomaru, and Rikimaru, also all died during this incident. By 1584, he was working on behalf of Toyotomi Hideyoshi and would end up taking his own life during the Battle of Komaki and Nagakute. It's said that he wore to battle a white jinbaori, which is a type of kimono, and because of his rather conspicuous nature, choosing to ride at the front of the lines, waving a war fan erratically, he was shot in the head by a Tokugawa Ashigaru, which is a type of infantry soldier that fired matchlock rifles during this time. His younger brother, Tadamasa, became the next clan head, and eventually, under the leadership of Tadamasa, the Mori clan would become daimyos under Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and would lead the Toyama domain for 5 more generations as Tozama, or outsider, daimyos, before a rather unfortunate incident that had to do with dog kennels, Sankin Kotai, and Ronin. And someone going insane. So if fate ever makes that person a character, we've got something to look forward to. Because it was an interesting story. But in my opinion, more interesting than Nagayoshi is his wife, Ikeda-san. Ikeda-san was an onomusha. Onomusha were Japanese warrior women. She was the daughter of Ikeda Tsuneoki, who was a daimyo under Nobunaga, and she was the older sister of Ikeda Terumasa, a man who would become known as the Saigoku no Shogun, the shogun of Western Japan. Ikeda had been trained in martial arts from a young age and was the commander of 200 female musketeers, making up a unit called a teppo. She herself is described as a female samurai by historical records, said to have received in her own name over 10,000 koku, and was credited as a female lord or daimyo in her own right, according to some records. Her grandmother, Yotoku-in, had been the wet nurse of Oda Nobunaga, which helped her clan and expand their political sphere of influence. Her brother also had a politically powerful marriage when he was given the daughter of Tokugawa Ieyasu, named Tokugawa Tokuhime. Not only was she skilled with rifles, but she was educated in the art of the naginata. And after the death of Nobunaga, there are anecdotes that she may have led her unit of Teppo under the Toyotomi clan, but these are unsubstantiated. The Ikeda clan, as well as the Hideyoshi, would support the claim of Hidenobu, Nobunaga's grandson at the time, which further elevated their status after the seppuku of Nobutaka at Kitanosho Castle. She joined her husband as well as her brother in fighting for Toyotomi Hideyoshi in the Battle of Komaki and Nagakute, surviving her husband and father's deaths at the time. After her husband's death, she married one of the 3 most important members of the Toyotomi government, the daimyo Nakamura Kazuji, and would have 2 children with them, her most famous being the first lord that ruled the domain of Yonago. This son would then marry Tokugawa Ieyasu's adopted daughter, strengthening relations between the Ikeda and Tokugawa. Her second husband died in 1600 just before the Battle of Sekigahara, at which point she changed her name to Anyo-in and became a Buddhist nun, and returned to either the Ikeda or Nakamura domain after his death. She lived more than 80 years, according to historical records, through the 16th and 17th centuries, surviving the entire period of the Warring States era in Japanese history. Much more interesting than her husband. And I know we don't have a fate servant for her, but you gotta sometimes.
So, yeah. I guess we can play at this here. I also sometimes forget to. What class are you thinking?
Sword? Or spear? Lancer or saber?
All right.
I feel like it could go either way. I would think that the answer would be saber. But if you tell me rider, I'm not going to be upset.
Let's get into it then. Meet Mori Nagayoshi, Berserker servant.
Oh, because of the brutality and ruthlessness? Yeah, I don't know how I dumped that. I don't like this new... Okay. That is a hell of an armor set. You know what he kind of looks like? Iron Man 1, the first Iron Man suit, the Mark 1. Kind of looks like that. Oh, see, that's better. We love a good,
See, that armor set has an entire story around it. We'll get into it. It involves Nazis. It's a great story. You did not see that coming.
I really did not. I do really like this. This is better in my opinion than the first one because it's kind of got a mix of the two. You know what I will say? This reminds me a little bit of when combined with this. Did you ever see Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword?
I did not. I think I've seen bits and pieces.
Well, remind me to show it to you one of these days so we can talk about the legend of the Black Samurai.
I'm not going to make the comment I wanted to make there.
Yeah,
that would have been fairly inappropriate.
It's not what you're thinking of. The armor is black.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I figure like Black Knight. That's what I get, the Black Samurai, Black Knight deal. But just the first place my mind went to wasn't that.
That's fair. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. Love it. 10 out of 10.
He does have a spear though.
That is true. I think I will say I do prefer this form the most of all of them, and I bet you could have predicted that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you have to tell me about Mr. Berserker Man?
So, Nagayoshi here is the Berserker servant seen in the Imperial Japanese Grail War portrayed in both Fate Koha Ace and Fate Redline. This being the Grail War where the Japanese government conspired with the Nazis around the time of World War II to get the Grail.
Huh. Oh, yeah. I guess that's the... Was it not the Allies, but the
I forget.
Axis powers.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So as you can tell, he is a very large man, even outside of his armor suit.
Yeah.
And true to history, he has a ferocious temper, which in Fate earns him the nickname the Oni Musashi.
Demon swordsman?
Yep. This is actually the context for which he was summoned in the Imperial Grail War. His master was a mage allied with the Japanese military during World War II. The master intended to summon Miyamoto Musashi, but failed, instead summoning Nagayoshi.
Okay.
His armor that he uses was even portrayed in the art there, the one that looked a little bit more like an Iron Man suit, is actually a restraining suit built to control Berserker. something that would more or less not work, as Nagayoshi would immediately cut off his master's arm to prevent use of command spells, and then fly into a killing spree upon awakening, carrying his master along with him, who could only beg for any masters in the area to put down his servant.
Oofta. Also, respectfully, I love the Koha Ace art. This is great. I need to see more Koha Ace art, like, just in general.
You see a lot of Koha Ace art.
I know, but I need more.
You like the original comic?
Yeah, like, I need more. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cute. I absolutely adore it. Sorry, we haven't read this yet, so...
No, this is Redline. It's done by, I think, someone who does one of the spin-offs for Demon Slayer.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so there's Redline illustrations.
Yep.
That I can look at. Oh, wow. Impressive. Very impressive.
So yeah, he is just an unstoppable force of death at the end of the day, with no means other than death of being stopped.
I love that for him. Relationships?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. My little brother Ranmaru, yeah, Naritoshi was Otono's favorite. He was too attentive to minor stuff, but he was my cute little brother. He died at Otono's side for one reason or another, but well, that's a preferable way of dying, not like me. Oh, that's the little brother I brag about. He was a hunky just like me, and Otono was pretty fond of him somehow. But hey, he died along our Otono, so I think he had a good life. Okay. If it ain't Otono, it's gonna be fun to fight again under Otono. Whoops, now my lord ain't Otono, but master? Huh? Then ain't she my enemy? How interesting. What the hell, Otono? What's with that getup? A swimsuit? You swim in that? Ugh, sing? On a stage? What the hell? That's totally the opposite of wabi. Simplicity. If it ain't Cha-Cha-sama, it's been a while. How's your highness? Your highness? He ain't here? It'd be funnier if Otono and your highness were here. I was interested in seeing who'd win between Otono and your highness. Hey, if it isn't Cha-Cha-sama, how's she going? She died? I went ahead, but I heard she cracked up after my death. Still, to make that Cha-Cha-sama laugh, I'm pretty good, ain't I? He laughs a lot, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Akechi, that treacherous and solemn bastard, betrayal's really shitty, a disgrace for warriors. Well, he was decent at tea ceremonies, though. Treason is always crap, but I can't believe he got killed that easily. Guess tea ceremony preparation is all that bastard is good for. Okay. Echigo's war idiot, huh? That woman really pisses me off, but I gotta admit she's really strong. I mean, I didn't know she was a woman. Right. It's the same with Otono, but strong women rise my defeat points. Well, if it isn't the war fool of Echigo. Listen, battles are to be won. Huh? She was practically undefeatable in battle? Not too shabby. You're Musashi? What a coincidence. I'm Musashi too. Musashi's Musashi, but I'm Oni Musashi. Rich of me to say it, but there's quite a lot of Musashi, so it's easy to get mixed up. What are the odds, Udon lady? I'm also called Musashi. Well, I've got the demon tacked on there. Sounds like there's plenty of Musashis aside from me around. That's no good. Hey, that geezer over there, did I meet you somewhere? No, must be my imagination. You don't even have a spear. I somehow felt like you stabbed me in the head a long time ago. My bad. Let me make some tea as an apology.
Make a guess as to what takes down Mori Nagayoshi.
Okita? That little girl. I feel like I remember having seen your sword. No, I don't mean at this war. It's more like as if you stabbed me in the heart. Okay.
So, as far as abilities go, Nagayoshi is fast, strong, and most of all brutal. His raw bulk acts as a great intimidating factor while on the battlefield, but his suit of armor, since it's meant to weaken and control him, it doesn't do that much to actually protect him in the grand scheme of things, not in his opinion at least.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to the mental corruption, it just doesn't do anything except limit his power. It doesn't actually keep him in line and in control. He hates wearing it, and he hates wearing armor in the first place, much less this suit, and it just goes against his all offensive over defensive attitude towards fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So he prefers his second ascension as well.
Good.
His noble phantasm, he has two of them, kind of. The first one is the Ningen Mukotsu. This is a defense-ignoring spear capable of cutting through enemies like butter. It can be used to completely bisect Nagayoshi's enemies as if they had no bones at all, and Just goes right through him.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is more theoretical and only usable if he's not summoned as a Berserker. We have not seen that yet, but it's called the 100 Steps. Summoned into a non-Berserker class like Lancer or Rider, Nagayoshi would have a horse named Hyakudan. An extremely fast horse had to gallop up 100 stone steps in a single breath. We can only speculate what it would exactly do, though.
Valid. Okay, makes sense. Okay. I didn't recognize the designer name for the character because they've only done 2 things: Minamoto no Tametomo and Mori Nagayoshi.
Yep, you haven't seen Tametomo yet.
Exactly. So that's why I didn't recognize the name. All right, we have 1 NP.
Yep.
How old is the servant, by the way?
About, I'd say like year 3, 4 of FGO. So not quite like those early like Castor Ball years, but not quite like the new Zufu with like the chainsaw and complex like Jaws animation.
Okay, so in between. My question is, maybe this is something that someone in the comments can answer if you can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his relationship lines are transcribed with what I would assume is like a dialect. So is his voice actor using dialect when he speaks? Because otherwise, why would you transcribe them with such a strong? Because there was an accent on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody would know. I mean, listen, if I didn't know he was a Berserker, I would assume Lancer based on the animations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said a second ago, he can be a Lancer. So.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I think he'd be great as a Lancer. Ooh, that was fun.
He's got some nice twirly stuff
Yeah,
going for him.
yeah. Well, and he tabs his lance open as well. Yeah, no, they did a pretty good job with kind of the animations, I think. Now that I've seen a lot more of the animations, I'm getting a firmer grasp of like what's older and what's newer just by watching it. Oh. But also, sharp teeth.
Shark teeth.
Shark teeth. We love them. All right. I'm going to go check down trivia real quick.
Yeah.
Just because I used to be able to see it as I was scrolling down, and I don't always get to see it now. Okay, so there's not much about him himself, just mechanics. All right, gallery. Okay, so we have both a Grail League and a striker. Obviously, he's the batter. Is he goalie? Is he goalie? I would not want to be.
Be trying to score against that?
No, that's horrifying. You think he just takes up the entire goal? Because he's so big. Alright, so... Looks like we have...
Fair bit of extra art.
Oh, so this is like a wallpaper with other characters.
Yeah, it's probably to advertise one of the Gouda Gouda events.
Yeah. Okay.
That one includes names.
So. Well, because it was in Japanese and then English. Yeah. So this is the Under the Same Sky 5th anniversary. Impressive. That's another one with... But I know him.
Yes, Mandricardo.
I don't know if I know him.
You do not know that character.
Okay. There's no English translation, so I'm not super worried. Yeah, the Delinquent Gang wallpaper. Okay. Foot pick.
For free?
Yeah.
Can't be giving those away like that.
Yeah, you can, apparently. Alright. Oni's tea ceremony. This has a couple different people in it.
I see Hijikata in the front there.
Yeah.
You don't know the middle guy there, and then he's in the back.
Swords have no place when it is time for tea. One need only be an ordinary man. No shouting, just a calm, composed demeanor. In this moment, even Oni sit down and calm their hearts. All right, hang on. We're not that far out from when this video goes live, right? Which means I'm gonna make a meme here that's definitely not gonna still be relevant, but at least it won't be 8 months past relevant. Very demure.
At the very least, it's just a description when we get past the meme stage.
What the fuck? Why? Why is half my screen? Fucking World of... I clicked the X and it didn't go away.
Now it's gone.
Will. Oh, like his last will and testament? Okay. Oh, okay.
The legal reading of the last will and testament of one Mori Nagayoshi.
All rise for the reading of the final will and testament of the Honorable Mori Nagayoshi. Firstly, I give my tea jar called Sekhie to my lord, but I know that thing's stored in Uji. Second, I'll give my Daitenmoku to my lord too. There should be a tag on the teacup. Third, if I die, mother will receive money from my lord to move to Kyoto. The successor Senchio will continue to serve my lord without change. Fourth, listen, you won't be able to handle Kaneyama Castle. Tell my lord there should be someone else better to entrust that place to. Fifth, all the women folk should head back to their home. Sixth, any tea things and swords I don't want will go to Senchio. The rest of the stuff's been labeled with their intended destination, so just follow that. Oh, and my cherished short sword at Honami's place in Kyoto, so that'll go to Senchio too. My daughter Oku should marry a merchant or doctor in Kyoto instead of a samurai. Make sure mother lives in Kyoto. That's non-negotiable. And do not, absolutely do not, even if it kills you, do not let Senchio succeed Kaneyama Castle. Oh, and just in case, on the minuscule chance that we suffer a crushing defeat in this battle, just set the castle on fire so you can all die together. Year 13 of Tencho, March 26th, morning, Musashi. This was what was apparently written in Nagayoshi's will and testament. The final line really shows how ridiculous Nagayoshi's orders and the man himself were. What do you think, Master? Doesn't it sound like I really love my family? Sir, you have spent six parts of your will dissing your little brother. Like, genuinely.
Okay, but getting the daughter to marry
a doctor or a merchant, that's nice.
That was a pretty smart thing, considering where samurai would go in a few generations.
True, and move mom to Kyoto and make sure that she lives there with money. Yeah. Beautiful. A short rest with tea preparation. I'm sensing a theme here about how much this man loves tea, and it is very much endearing me to him. Like, he was a berserker with a spear, right? Beautiful second design. I was already endeared to him, but the amount of tea that has featured thus far is just making it more. A return gift from Mori Nagayoshi. A bowl of tea offered at a tea room the size of 2 tatami mats. The small tea room is so cramped your elbows almost touch each other's arms as you two sit around the kettle. It's a moment of bliss as you are conscious of the host's careful movements. So yeah, that's enough of the complicated stuff. We just need to pour whatever the hell we want and drink whatever the hell we want. It's just like killing things. By the way, what do you think of this red tea bowl? I know Rikyu Koji's all about using black rakuware, but I like this red bowl. It's like the color of splattering blood, and it totally looks refined. Come on now, take a sip.
At the end of the day, he's just every D&D character you've ever played. Crazy person with giant weapon that dies by walking out into losing battle as an inconspicuous target to draw fire.
Look, you didn't have to come for me like that. That's so mean. Super turbulent times. Oh, great lord, let's start this flashy tea ceremony. This is where your luck ends. Let's settle... Okay, that's someone else's name. Alright. Heroic Spirit Travel Journal, Mori Nagayoshi. This is voiced. Fireworks are always nice. Go on, bloom and scatter in the sky! Japanese handle fireworks in Aichi. Interesting. We saw the full picture earlier. Mm-hmm. Alright, blazing adversities. Well, there he is.
Yeah, he's just
But this one. Is this for the...
It's actually... If you go back to that picture. Not that it had much of a description.
Because there's Cha-Cha.
Yeah, I think that's Ryoma at the front.
I think it is, yeah.
So you've seen these characters.
And Demon Demon Nobu up there?
I can't tell at this angle.
No, not Demon Nobu, but you can barely see it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Nothing more remained. Untold quantities of blood flow across the ground. There's no telling what there may be at its ultimate destination. But even so, these people continue to move forward, all so that they can make an important decision. Chaldea Delinquent Gang.
That probably does contain names. We'll
Yeah.
get back to this when we do that last character, who we will get around to eventually.
All right. Heroic Spirit Exhibition Attire, Mori Nagayoshi's. Okay, so this is from the 2024 anniversary where they're doing the festivals.
Brand new. First new anniversary artwork you get to see.
Yeah, it's the Huatoria Pavilion. Okay. There's a blazing enshrined deity Bernunos in the background.
There's a Bernunos in the background? I see it.
I think it's here, right?
No, I think it's to the left. A little bit of a orange to it.
What?
Is that not on the left side there, Pat, like next to his arm?
Yes.
Is that Bernunos? I can't tell on the right. Is that on the right?
Well, there's nothing next to his. This is a umbrella.
Oh.
It's got to be here, or like on his gun, maybe his water gun. All right, let me. It's an anniversary.
It's
I don't
just
really
gonna
need to
have a little
translate
blurb.
it. Yeah. I'll just go back up to my favorite version.
So yeah, that's Mori Nagayoshi.
Mori Nagayoshi. Fate, I demand that you put Ikeda-san in FGO. I demand this. I demand that you put Ikeda-san as a character. She needs to come to FGO with her musket and her naginata.
You say that, but that's the kind of shit Guda Guda would pull like one of these days if they ever wanted to put more focus on Nagayoshi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I demand this.
In every few Guda Gudas, they do tend to put focus on one of their older characters who didn't get a lot of focus in their original event or something like that. So.
Well, Fate, I beseech you, I implore you, I tell you, it is a good idea. Include Ikeda-san. So actually, I think I have a pretty funny hint for the next video. Right? So do you mind?
Go ahead.
And historians will call them close friends, besties, roommates, colleagues, anything but lovers.
Except I'm pretty sure historian did end up calling them lovers in this instance.
Exactly.
Like, this was not even ambiguous.
Nope. We'll see you next time.